Hey guys, once again here bringing on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to check out a team build that I've talked about when Hit was releasing and we talked about link partners and stuff. It is, what, episode 573 at this point of the glazing Glorio and his team build. This team I think could be very, very interesting. So we got double Glorio leads, we got Cell on here, because obviously we got some other tournament participants' characters, so his domain will be quite an interesting buff for Hit. We got Beast Gohan to be our other slot 1. Paikuhan's very, very good link partners for Hit. And the funny thing is, outside of tournament participants, they don't share any other categories. So, like, Hit isn't on Paikuhan's team, Paikuhan isn't on Hit's team. So if we want to run them together and get those links, because they share 5 links, including Cold Judgment, which is a really good defensive link. So if we want to have that set up, we have to run them on a different team. And I mean, I made a video about it a while back, and I guess to be fair, I should have been a bit more clear that I meant like not LRs. But I think Glorio probably has the best leader skill in the game currently, with demonic power 200% and then accelerated battle or battle of wits 170%. Now, even though a lot of the characters that we end up running on his team are only getting the 170 lead, because he gives so much support by having the double Glorio floating like setup, the characters on the team end up putting up the same kind of numbers that we would see from a 200% or even 220% team a lot of the time. So his team is just really, really good, and it is constantly getting buffs, right? Because we saw like the 10th anniversary fusions are both on here, the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Like, a lot of the big ticket, like, Super Saiyan characters do end up on Accelerated Battle, right? Not only is Hit on here, but the new Goku is on here as well. Obviously, though, the new Goku is nowhere near as good. So this team is just going to constantly get buffs. And Hit does have Accelerated Battle as part of his leader skill. But as I said, obviously, like, Paikuhan, they're not on Accelerated Battle, they're on Battle of Wits. So that's how they get onto the Glorio team. I really wanted to run Hit with like Paikuhan, and this is the best way to do it, because double Hit leads, obviously he's a character that wants to be on rotation, wants to be getting stacks as much as possible, and he's there just putting out damage, good post super defense and stuff like that. So he is a very different kind of leader than the Glorio, right, who is just a support. Basically, he's a character who, it reminds me very much of like when AGL Turles first came out many years ago, and why he was such a good leader, and why I've always kind of liked that leader archetype ever since his release, where he was the leader of the team. He had a movie boss's leader skill, but all he was really doing was giving all allies support and ki, so you could build the team however you wanted and just throw both the Turleses floating, and they're just there supporting the team, and you build your rotations however you want. And that's the big difference between like Glorio's lead and Hit's lead. If it came to like, if you just wanted to run a pure like full accelerated battle team, like Glorio works better for that, because you can just make your rotations whatever you want, have Glorio floating providing a crazy amount of support, and then you're basically just set, right? You're good to go. So I still think he has one of the best leader skills in the game. I think the 10-year fusions are probably the only characters that have a better leader skill than him. And potentially just because they are 220 leads. Like, if Glorio's leader skill was like 220 to demonic power, and then it was like 200% HP and 170, like the new leader skill format, 200% HP, 170 attack and defense for accelerated battle and battle of wits, maybe he would have an argument, but I don't know, because obviously a lot of the characters, like we said, the accelerated battle or battle of wits characters would only be getting 170% attack and defense like they are now. So it wouldn't make an insane amount of difference, but it would be quite interesting for sure. Now, the thing is, with the rotations the way they were at the start, they're pretty good. I do want Cell to obviously just get killed and then revive. So I think we probably are going to see that happen here, unless... I mean, he might tank a normal, I guess. We've got the domain up. Yeah, 220 coming. It's not ideal, but he tanks the normal, and then after he supers, he's going to have much more defense. Obviously, it doesn't matter that Zamasu dodges, because he's going to have his post-super attack effect defense and the build-up from his passive. I mean, I guess it's fine. We can save the revival for a little bit later on. Having the tournament participants buff is obviously good for Hit as well. Hit getting a lot of support on this turn with the domain and the like double Glorios in place. So what is he looking at here? 7.4. I mean, the fact that his stacks like jump up so quickly between each attack is one of the things that I do really like. Obviously, we can see because we got the action break there, he only super attacked twice on his first turn, because it's whenever you get the third one, you do the action break, right? So, yeah, 2 supers here, then we get the third. Obviously, with this guy being a stacker, it's just always going to be a case of the more supers you get, the better. So, good turn for him. And then once we've attacked, obviously we've got pretty solid defense and pretty good dodge chance. So there we go. Dodging 3 out of the 4 attacks is good. And then Glorio in slot 3 can do his thing. Typical, right? This guy hasn't supered yet, has he? So if he supers Glorio here, that'll be quite unfortunate. But Glorio, of course, having the potential to dodge. I mean, Glorio can build up within the turn if he does enough supers to be able to tank normals even from some of these type disadvantage bosses, but especially when it comes to type disadvantage, like, he's not going to be eating a super. I mean, he's done pretty well here, jumped up to 25 mil with the last super of the turn, I say, and then he does another one for 31. Yeah, Glorio's still so ridiculously good. And then, yeah, he just dodges the attack as it is anyway. So, yeah, what a beast. Speaking of beast, obviously Gohan gets a lot of support from Paikuhan. So, this is a good turn for him. Because if Paikuhan gets all of his orbs, Beast Gohan is obviously on Connected Hope. So, he gets the extra support. So, we'll just go ahead and do that. Get hit first so we get the buff. Eat that for double-digit damage. We do get sealed, which is annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. Get a couple of attacks off here. Obviously, AGL Paikuhan's Easy A is so good, and then with all the Glorio support thrown in as well. The fact that this guy's out here providing the kind of support that he does with the backup, like dodge and everything, and he's still dropping like 20 million attack stat with like multiple supers in the turn, is very good. AGL Paikuhan's Easy A, really, really good. Definitely very happy with how they did his Easy A and the tech Janemba. Funny that they released with the STR Paikuhan and the physical Kaioken Goku, who obviously are nowhere near as good. But yeah, very, very solid setup. Now let's see. He did slot 1 super on this turn. So is he going to finally kill Cell for us here? Also, the thing I was saying about, like, we're kind of saving this Paikuhan, like the LR Paikuhan, when we put him in slot 2, our tournament participant allies get 10% damage reduction for 2 turns. I probably should use that next time around. I guess we'll have to float him off on this turn upcoming, and then when he's next on this rotation here, we'll put him in slot 2, because then the following turn, the Cell and hit will get the extra 10%. Now, the thing is, it does mean you can't transform him before then. See, the thing is, I don't want Cell to kill Zamasu here. We've got 731k defense. I mean, I guess we can just transform Hit, right? There's no reason not to transform Hit straight away. Hit's got one of those transformations where you're not losing out on anything. So there's no reason not to transform straight away. He's got a 70% chance to dodge. I mean, this all just comes back to the, like, it's the UI Goku, like, memes all over again, where 70% chance to dodge in slot 1 for 1 attack. We should be able to count on him. Otherwise, unfortunately, we can have some awkward shenanigans. But we got the dodge, so 13 mil. And then we jump up to, yeah, 17.8 with the next one. The key is just to get as many stacks with Hit as we can. But, I mean, like I say, I will constantly praise this Glorio team. Every new release that is Accelerated Battle, I'll probably end up doing some kind of new team build of the Glorio team with that unit, just because it works so well and gives you the option to combine some of these characters that don't fit together very well on other teams. Obviously, on a situation like this, where, like, we really wanted Hit to go in slot 1 so he could get his attacks, we didn't actually get to link him up with Paikuhan. But remember, Paikuhan in that pre-transformed state is still just giving him support anyway. So it does work out quite nicely. I guess we probably want to save the Ghost Usher turn. So we'll do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Just do a little bit of extra damage. I should have picked up Paikuhan's orbs first. What am I thinking? Because that would have at least given Glorio a little bit of support. So his active skill would have done a little bit more damage. But either way, we'll do that. Because obviously, just in case, like the very first attack of the turn from them could have been the super. Well, I was going to say, watch it be the super now. Because, yeah, of course it is. But yeah, B's still taking double-digit damage. Thanks to all of this support. Like I say, Paikuhan giving him 60% and then the double Glorio lead support like in play as well. Pretty crazy. So the only downside for like these new red zones, I still don't really know at this point, like in this post-anniversary meta, I still don't really know like which is the best stage for showcasing like these various different teams, because some of these last few fights in the meta now are like so long. Like these guys have so much HP and they heal every turn as well. So it's like one of those things. I like to get quite a good few turns in with all the different units, with the rotations, like show what they can do. And then it's like, it gets to a certain point where it's just like, okay, is that like, have we shown enough? Like, it's not like we need to go all the way through to the end of actually winning the event. But obviously it's, I want to try and show as much as possible of the team. Because, you know, this team very clearly can beat this event. We just need to get it set up and get it going, which I think we're in a good spot here. I mean, Cell hasn't revived yet, so realistically we're just going to have to put him in slot 1 on this next upcoming turn and then have him get killed, which he should immediately just get killed because he hasn't had the revive yet, so he doesn't have guard. But of course, unfortunately, damn, Glory up to 37. Unfortunately, that makes another turn where Hit isn't getting stacks. So I didn't want to mess around with the rotations right at the beginning because Hit wants to stay on rotation to stack. We don't want to end up with no slot 1. But I do think actually a better rotation for this team, if you can get it set up straight away, is to actually have Hit next to Beast Gohan. Because funnily enough, they do actually share Infighter as well as Shocking Speed and Fierce Battle. So he is getting like an extra link out of it as well. And then we don't have to worry about like, is Cell going to die in slot 1, revive, and then we don't get the buffs. So we'll do this because I think post-attacking here, Cell should still die to them, especially if they super. And because the first slot, all they're doing is healing, we don't need to worry about whether Hit's going to dodge or not. Because remember, once he hits an enemy with his super attack as well, he has a higher chance to dodge from them. So Hit getting attacked now in slot 1 should hopefully dodge every single attack. And of course, each attack he dodges also gives him even more dodge chance. So, of course, they straight away start off with the super, because why not? But then we get the dodge. And then, yeah, each time he dodges, his dodge chance increases by 6. So, I mean, I think at this point, like, he's already, for that final attack, like, or 2, he's at, like, over 100% chance to dodge. So, obviously, that's very good. He got his attacks off, so he gets his stacks off. And then Cell should hopefully get killed here, so we can get the revive. And then we should be looking good on the next turn, because we're going to have the Paikuhan buff from him being in slot 2 on this next rotation. So should be looking relatively good here. Okay, so you gonna die? No, it only takes 60k. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we are gonna have to I mean, to be fair, if there had been attacks in slot 1, I just would have put him in slot 1, but we got, unfortunately, the they're just going to heal in slot 1 rotation, which is great for Hit, for getting some stacks in, but not so great for the let's get Cell killed and revive strategy, which is what we are trying to go for here. Because obviously once he's revived and he's got those extra buffs, he's a lot more reliable in slot 1. But it's just always that problem with characters where they have to be the one to get the revival. It can be very awkward sometimes, like unless you just get it straight away early on, which of course would be ideal, but sometimes you can end up having to really like fight for it, which is super annoying. So I think what we'll do here is we will, as active skill with Beast, we're still going to put him in slot 1, but we'll active skill with Beast so that he gets the extra defense. Then we'll put Paikuhan in slot 2, not transformed, so now he's got the support buff for the next rotation and this rotation, right? Paikuhan benefits from that 10% damage reduction now. But yeah, hit and sell on the next turn are going to have an extra 10% damage reduction. We might as well just activate Cell's might as well activate Cell's active skill just so he gets the bigger buff. In fact, what I should have done, rather than using Beast Gohan's active skill, I should have used Paikuhan's active skill, because then on this next turn upcoming there's multiple hits in slot 1, so that pretty much guarantees that Cell would die. Which I guess in a way it's like kind of a waste of that then 10% damage reduction for the turn. It's very tricky. Like, there's a lot of abilities at play here where maybe this setup isn't the best, I guess. Like, Cell is a unit that I'm not super hyped on anyway, but I thought it'd be interesting to have another tournament participants. Remember, to get Hit's intro, so he gets his extra buffs, you just need 2 other tournament participants or a Universe 6 character, but having the 2 Paikons counts as the 2 tournament participants. So we didn't need to run Cell. It was just a situation of like, who else can we run as like a slot 1 character. But yeah, he's still a very questionable release to me. I've seen the fact that the memes, we've got like people like genuinely comparing like whether he is better than the Kaioken Goku, kind of tells you a lot about the Kaioken Goku, I guess. But yeah, he's definitely an interesting unit. I mean, to be fair to him as well, from some of the numbers that we've seen on this run, like in terms of attack stats and like his defense and stuff, he doesn't have a great link partner here, right? And especially like he isn't getting big bad bosses active. So like on this turn, he's got 518k defense, which is not very good. So if we put him in slot 1, we could finally get the get him actually get KO'd here, and then we would have that revival buff. We floated off AGL Paikon last turn. So, I mean, Hit's got 1.4 million defense and has the 10% damage reduction here now as well, which is really good. So, I think the best thing to do... I don't want the showcase to be like super long as well, because like realistically the best thing to do is to just have Cell in slot 1 and let him get killed here, because then at least we can revive and then keep on trucking. But it's like you lose out on a whole turn by doing that, right? But either way, this makes Cell now actually a bit more of a viable character to be in slot 1. We'll get to see his proper like post revive and post active skill set up on the next turn, but it means we basically lose out and now go back to this. So now we can just become super serious Paikon man. Grab these. I guess that's not really much of a difference there. Grab those for you, and grab those for you. Alright, so we should have a pretty solid turn here. Beast and Paikon, not exactly the craziest rotation. Beast, of course, not getting hit first means no massive like attack buffs for him. You watch as well. We'll get all the way to... We'll finally get to this next turn where we've now gotten, like, Cell's got his revival. We can get the active skill up, and then, like, he'll just get instantly killed anyway. Because, I mean, even Beast Gohan taking, like, 500 odd K damage at that point is not ideal. Also, that is one thing to point out. The one downside to the fact that Glorio's team is largely just a bunch of characters with 170% leader skill is that their the overall HP of the team is a lot lower than we would like it to be compared to some of the top meta teams and like how hard some of the bosses are hitting at the moment with their super attacks. So it's not really ideal that his leader skill is giving that lower HP. That's why it's one of the really good things about the new leader skill meta, where even if you are having characters that are on the 170, they're getting 200% to HP. And then obviously the characters that are getting the full buff, it's 220 to stats, like attack and defense, but it's 250% to HP. So that's how we're able to hit some of these really high HP numbers for the team. So go ahead and use your active skill. That gives us, that puts him to 800k defense slot 1 with no big bad bosses, which is not really anything too crazy. Obviously we can go ahead and we could use Hit's active skill here. So that gives us some damage as well as then the Ghost Usher. It's interesting actually that we get a Ghost Usher effect and an action break, because I guess technically that removes the attack, and then of course the Ghost Usher effect means that the attacks are all in the same place when they come back on the next turn, which means that that one is still removed, which is actually pretty good. But yeah, Cell hitting for like 10 mil. His start of turn defense, even with the guard and the bit of damage reduction he has, with like the little bit of extra damage reduction from a super attack, it's still not particularly good. So I think it's probably the one questionable thing. As much as I like this sort of combo of having Hit and Paikuhan with the Glorios, I don't know if Cell really is the greatest choice for the team. But let me know what you guys think down below. Have you changed your thoughts on Cell at all since his release? Have you always liked him? Have you always disliked him? I do think that regardless of how I feel about him, I guess in like his optimal situation, we do have to be aware of the fact that like this is not that, right? Like no big bad bosses lead, only getting the 170 from Glorio. So it's obviously not going to be his greatest showing, but Hit out here dropping like, 30 million on his second attack stat. Hit definitely has the arguments for being the best TUR, right? Like he's only getting the 170 lead from Glorio, and this is what he's doing thanks to all of the Glorio support and everything. 35 million on the third super, and then we get the fourth one, which is 42.9, so basically 43 million on the extra super there as well. So definitely able to put out a ton of damage in these fights that go a bit longer. He's definitely able to build up to some pretty ridiculous numbers. And yeah, just a very interesting team setup. You just got to be very careful, like a lot of these teams now. You got to be careful when it comes to the starting rotations and everything. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. I think we'll end it there just because these guys have so much HP. But Hit and Glorio with Paikuhan, pretty good combo. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.